everyone, we are the Australia representative group who is responsible for 2023 AFC Asian Cup bidding and the legacy script. I'm Phoebe. In this video, we will only focus on the sport legacy that we expected gain from the AFC Cup. We will first be beginning with the brief overview of the background of the AFC. Then we will have a look at some statistics of the sport participation in Australia, and more specifically focus on the soccer player. In the second part of this video, there are 4 developed strategies that we will mention for maximize the sport legacy and achieve our goal of bidding.
Let's start with the background of the AFC Asian Cup. The AFC Asian Cup is an international association format football tournament won by the Asian Football Confederation. It's often seen as a pathway for the Asian football team to reach the world-class international competition because the winning team who become the champion of Asia can be automatically qualified for the FIFA Confederation Cup. The AFC was held once every 4 years since 1956. In 2015, it was the first time that Australia has hosted the tournament, and it was also the first time the Asian Cup had been held outside the continent of Asia. In 2015, AFC the vision statement is to deliver a world-class event that celebrates Asia-rich football culture and leave an enduring legacy for the game in Australia. So, let's just have a quick defining of the event legacy. Legacy refers to all of the associated post-event impact and benefit, and it can be related to diverse categories, such as tourism development, environment and sustainability, urban regeneration and livelihood, infrastructure development, or culture conservation. All of this legacy can be either positive or negative, influence the community directly or indirectly, can be tangible or intangible, or it can be referred to something that can measure by money and something that are unmeasurable. To ensure the legacy are positively enduring after event, legacy planning usually takes place ahead of major sporting event to ensure that what is left after the event is of the benefit to event stakeholders, especially the host city and local community. To make it more relative with the AFC, last year, Australia holding the AFC and it generated a variety of event legacy to the state, national and local level. For example, the revenue of the event was distributed to the community football club for providing them funding assistance with supporting for further development of soccer. During the event, AFC will essentially increase the Australian media exposure to the worldwide, especially the period after Australia won the competition. It weighed Australia's position on international football and direct them to enter the new page of soccer. Furthermore, the AFC had reorientation of the Australian economy from US and Europe towards Asia, and Australia joining and engaging with the Asia Confederation from 2006 onward, and being interlinking with Asian football economy. Also, the 2015 AFC contributed a lot in the infrastructure development, and the achievement of Australia in the competition has successfully unlocked the government funding for the national and local sport department as well. Let's look at the table 1 on the left-hand side. It is a statistic that undertaken by Australia Sport Commission. Overall, it can be seen that the trend of Australia's participation of sport was decreased and will be continued like so. In 2010, an estimated 14.4 million people aged 15 years and over, equal to 82.3% of the population, participated at least once annually in physical activity for exercise, recreation, or both. It is the total participation rate in any physical activities. However, in 2014, there are only estimated 60%, that's equal to 11.1 million people, reported that they have participated in sport and physical recreation activities. Therefore, government is highly concerned with how to receive the enthusiastic of Asian participate sport activities, not only for the player of the sport, but also targeted the people who involved in non-paying roles, including the coach, instructor, or teacher, and also some of the committee member or administrator. You can see that the soccer player only accounts for a small portion of the sport attendance. More of the Asians are also into the rugby and Australia rule football rather than the traditional soccer. This slide shows Australia was led involved in the international mega competition, and that reflects its insufficient strength on soccer sport in the past. There are two of the examples of the international football competition. The first one is the FIFA World Cup. You can see that Australia only participates 4 times, and all of the competition Australia are in the lower ranking. And the second one is the Summer Olympics. Australia was only participate 1 time, but it's still an aging competition because it happened in the 1956. Overall, you can see that Australia football team they have the higher ability in the national competition, but still poor. This slide is just for you to reference that holding on football-related event or competition in the Asia Pacific can bring in high potential revenues.
In order to enhance the popularization of football in Australia through the Future Asian Cup, the first legacy strategy is volunteer in football. Volunteer plays a vital role in increasing sports participation and encourage the host community to contribute a multicultural and multilingual environment. The role of the volunteer strategy is not just to attract and expand the potential volunteers, more importantly, to satisfy the volunteers to increase their participation frequency in the future, like the returning volunteers.
According to the previous study of volunteering, one particular problem is lack of effective communication and information sharing between the volunteers and the management, especially after the sports events. To avoid the similar problems, the AFC could cooperate with Volunteers Australia and Australia government to set up Volunteer Football Association. The Football Association of Volunteers would responsible for recruitment, management, and community. For the volunteer recruitment, the event managers and human resources managers need to seek volunteers who are interested in football and willing to return to the community and desire to immerse themselves to the AFC environment. The recruitment should contain face-to-face interviews, which could provide volunteers the opportunities to communicate with the management. For the volunteer management, we establish tangible rewards and intangible rewards. People expect some form of tangible rewards, and through the rewards, they respond by doing good things for others. Volunteers receive tangible incentives for putting in more time, so we plan different kinds of tangible rewards to feedback to the AFC volunteers, such as the AFC volunteer certification, AFC souvenirs, and AFC match tickets. Through committing to more hours, the volunteers may feel greater intangible rewards by having the opportunity to be part of the environment and benefit the community and meet friends with the same interests. Both of the tangible rewards and intangible rewards encourage individuals that tend to have a higher level of satisfaction and greater intent to return as volunteers in the future. For the volunteer community, we focus on the satisfaction of the volunteers. After the AFC, the Volunteer Football Association still has the responsibility to organize the volunteers. We effort to create positive experiences during and after the event. Firstly, we would like to organize the football recreation activities for volunteers and their families, which could enhance the social cohesion of the volunteer community. Secondly, we gather volunteers to watch and play football games during the national football competition and other soccer games, which provide volunteers more chances to face-to-face communicate with each others and get to know new friends during the activities. Thirdly, in order to develop the returning volunteers, we also provide volunteers opportunities to attend national football competition and other football games in the future. Firstly, we could offer volunteers a chance to play friendship legal football with professional football players. Through this activity, we aim to attract and expand more people to be part of the AFC volunteer community. All the social activities will be organized after the event, which allows volunteers to feel a sense of camaraderie and a sense of belonging, and then to achieve to our objectives.
We are going to develop a football education program for the young generation to increase Australian football potential and awareness, as well as grow football participation in grassroots level. As we know, in 2006 World Cup in Germany, Australia entered into the knockout round, which was the best team performance in World Cup so far. That is probably because in Australia, football is not as popular as other sports, for example, rugby. So children could usually not receive formal football training in school and lack practice to become a football athlete. We could increase Australian global football status by taking use of these opportunities of holding Asian Cup. And one of the most important strategies is implement the football education program in primary school, make changes in young generation. First, we are going to promoting Asian Cup to school communities. Except the students, marketing to school could also target to the teachers and the students' families. It is an effective way to spread football knowledge. We will deliver the information and everyday news of Asian Cup to schools through different channels. For example, we are going to broadcast the school games every day in fixed lunchtime, and also paste a poster on the school wall and organize presentation for primary students and their parents to encourage them participating in the Asian Cup as audience or even as volunteers. Secondly, we are going to provide a designed football curriculum to primary students. Asian Cup is a good opportunity for students to open their horizon and understand more about international football situation, which will increase children's sense of football competitiveness. We will make a suitable standard for school curriculum setting. For example, primary school should provide football course as elective for year 3 to 6 students, and all schools should have at least one professional football player coach. We will also be holding regional and national league match among primary students. Each school could form their own football team to join it. Besides, school could also take use of Asian Cup stadiums as training court for students to practice and holding matches. Third, we will provide professional training to teachers before we train students. And teacher training program is one of the most important steps of changing young generation. All teachers will be provided with materials of football history, regulation of games, information of each football team, and the safety knowledge. Each school will have at least one lecture of football for faculty. Besides, football coach in each school must attend a professional training course taken by national team coach and Department of Children's Safety once a year for primary student training skills and protection. The Department of Education and Training of Australian Government is responsible for the implement of program by making national policy related to football education and monitoring the implement of the program. Meanwhile, each primary school is also responsible to the football course setting and provision.
Due to the less popularity of football in Australia, the third legacy is cooperation with media organizations to create new TV and radio programs, social media official accounts before and during the Asian Football Cup in order to promote football's knowledge in Australia and penetrate football's image and spirit into people's minds.
To achieve this legacy, Australia Broadcasting Corporation, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Citizens will be the main stakeholders. The four media companies will help to open new programs and web pages, especially for the Asian Football Cup. They all have a great impact on Australia's daily life, and they can be accessed easily and frequently. In terms of citizens, they are audience that those platforms has, and they will develop their interest of football, which will increase the popularity and reputation of football in Australia. Government, another stakeholders, will also give financial support to build this legacy, and with this legacy, government will improve its status in the world. In this case, we will cooperate with ABC to create a new radio program in the golden time for about 1.5 hours before the Asian Football Cup. We will also open a new TV football program in ABC to spread the football knowledge and spirits. Moreover, an official Facebook account will be released to update information and release events online. An official Instagram and YouTube account will also be created. In those media platforms, the content posted will be the same, but the format will be changed to specially cater to different audience. The name of these platforms will be Hello Football. The content will include these parts: knowledge of football, Asian Football Cup introduction, football star stories, football and me, football films and videos. The knowledge of football part will focus on the history of football in the world as well as history in Australia. In addition, this part will pay more attention to explain the rules of football so that to make sure every audience could have an understanding of football games and they could enjoy themselves in the football game. In the Asian Football Introduction section, Asian Football Cup will be introduced to the audience from the beginning to now. By this means, people's awareness of Asian Football Cup will be increased and it will attract their interest of watching Asian Football Cup. The football star stories will tell stories about the famous football players, especially those Australian players before the Asian Football Cup. During the Asian Football Cup, some football players can be invited to those medias to tell their stories and have interactions with the audience. The fourth section, Football and Me, is mainly to ask people to write down their stories about football or whatever they have experienced related to football. The last part is football films and videos. Previous Asian Football Cup videos, World Cup football games videos, and football-related movies will be broadcasted. Those media platforms will start 6 months before the Asian Football Cup. When the Asian Football Cup finishes, those platforms will keep existing and still spread the information of football. Through media like radio and TV programs, people's awareness of Asian Football Cup and football will be quickly increased and it will also leave strong impression on people's minds. Furthermore, after the Asian Football Cup, people's interest on football will still be kept.
The fourth strategy is to take advantage of the local football club to achieve the sporting legacy, which can be seen into the following two aspects. Encourage the local people to get involved into the football games and provide enough facility and training support. And three stakeholders will be get involved into this process: the state government, the local football club, and the National Football Association.
As for engaging the local people to the football sport, our football clubs will use the following strategy. Firstly, during the Asian Cup period, we will invite the local community to see the games together at the pub, which aims to build up the relationship with the local people and increase our football awareness. Then after the Asian Cup period, we will use the past experience to organize people to see the other football games, such as the Football Foundation Australia Cup and a Liga. Secondly, we will improve our loyalty programs. During the Asian Cup period, we will give discount for the local people to join the membership.
Football clubs will use this opportunity to promote themselves and introduce the football event all the year round. Thirdly, we will hire volunteers from the Asian Cup fans group. When someone becomes a volunteer, they will share their experience with their friends and family, which can attract more people's attention in football for a longer time period. As for providing sufficient facility and training support, the club will develop the course for not only the professional football player, but also the public who wants to learn the base football skills and rules. And football venue will be open for the public for free, for lightly. The State Council and the City Council will take the responsibility for the skills support, policy support, and the financial support of the legacy. During the games period, we will hold the seminar and invite the international football expert and club manager to share their experience to the local football clubs, which can definitely improve the local football club's operation and team performance. Then we will set up the Asian Cup opening day as the annual National Football Day. On that day, people can have 1 day holiday, and all the football fields are free for public. The football clubs will open to the public and invite people to see the games together. Finally, we will provide sufficient financial support for the local football clubs. The funding will be used for the venue refurbished and the club operation. Only when the football clubs get enough funding can it provide the high-quality facilities and the event for the public. As for the National Football Association, such as NIGA and the Football Federation Australia, we will attract the citizens' attention by using the social media platform during the Asian Cup period and off-season period. The strategy will be posting the football star story and promoting the local football clubs. And we also cooperate with the local football clubs to hold the regular meeting between the football superstars and the football fans after the Asian Cup. By doing this, it will keep the enthusiasm of the football participants after the Asian Cup and help develop the long-term football influence in the public.
After listening to the football legacy strategies above, please consider our bidding as the 2023 Asian Cup host. We will provide a world-class event with amazing football legacy to Australians to achieve a win-win outcome. Thank you.